what are the causes why you have vocabulary mismatch between queries and documents? The first one is word boundary variation. So that's a variation in which punctuation and other non-letter symbols are placed in the text and how they affect your breaking of text into individual tokens, and it's a pretty difficult. If you try to be perfect about it, there's almost no way, right? For example, EUSA, Edinburgh University Students Association, is not the same thing as EUSA, but EUSA is very much related to USA, and that's the same thing as U.S.A, and that could also be spelled as US of A. So that's the same thing. Those tokens mean the same thing, but of us A could be just a part of a sentence. That's not the same thing as US of A. So it's a maddeningly difficult problem. How do you tokenize, how do you extract the right units from text? So that's word boundary. You have morphological variation, and this is, now English is relatively poor morphologically. There are languages that are a lot richer, but you see some variation in English as well. And mostly in suffixes, but you still see enough, right? Policeman is the same thing as policeman. They're just singular and plural of the same concept. You would want them both to match the same query. And police is the same thing. But policy, which has a one-letter difference, is not. On the other hand, policy and politics refer to the same concept. So again, it's a pretty difficult thing. Spelling variation and typos, so that's our Gaddafi. And I'm using Gaddafi because he is famously, this name is famously misspelled in the Western media. There's about 20 different ways in which the Western newspapers spell the guy's name. So and of course none of them match at the token level. And then you have synonymy and polysemy. So these are words that don't even look like the same thing but refer to the same thing, or words that are exactly identical that mean different things. Apple as a fruit is not the same thing as Apple with a capital A. That's a company. And Big Apple is New York City. That has nothing to do with Apple as well, right? And New York City is not the same thing as York. So that's examples of synonymy, Big Apple in New York City, and polysemy, Apple and Big Apple. Okay, so what we'll start to do is we'll start taking those causes and peel them off one by one and talk about ways of addressing them. And remember, there is no silver bullet, right? There is no method that works universally. I will present some basic ideas for what you can basically do out of the box, but you can always improve upon that.